why is somebody suddenly going into a health trauma? Hello, this is Sarita, and I'm here to help you understand the truth about who you are. So today I wanted to address a question that came up on my Patreon channel this morning. And the question was about really, why is somebody suddenly going into a health trauma? And the question was based around the idea that they felt that they'd done something wrong, they weren't meditating enough, or being self-aware enough, and this health trauma had just come up for them, basically. And I really wanted to address this because this comes up again and again and again with people. And often people believe that because they're having a health issue, they're doing something wrong. Something is going wrong, or they've created something within their lives that has upset and affected their health. Now, the reason I want to address this question is because most people's idea of what the correct answer is actually very much rooted in the inverted matrix satanic principle. And we're so indoctrinated with this inversion that we can't really seem to get our heads around it. So in a nutshell, what I'm going to say is, if you are in a health crisis, if you are dealing with either a long-term issue or something that has come up suddenly out of the blue, you are, from a soul's perspective and an evolutionary frequency-based perspective, doing something right. What it means is that the container, your body vessel, which for most of us has been having thousands and thousands, potentially millions of incarnations, is now ready to let go of something, because your frequency, your light-based body, is resonating at a higher level of reality, and you can no longer hold any density within you. And so what's happening is the density, or the dis-ease, is coming up to be seen and felt by you and let go by you on its way out. So the inverted satanic matrix indoctrination principle makes you believe that something's coming into your body that's made you sick. And it's not really that way around. That's an inversion. It's something deep in this kind of infinite well of your being that has been around for eons. And even if you're a new soul, you're holding the cellular memory of others that have been around for eons. And it's coming up and out. It's coming up and out because you can't hold density within you anymore. And all this is essentially holding the, if you like, the rub or the friction of a non-truth within you, a lie that you're holding within yourself. So when this person asked their question on Patreon, they were like, this thing has suddenly come up and I don't understand why, because I've really been meditating loads and loads, and maybe I'm not such a prolifically good or long time meditator as the other people on your channel. And it's not that at all. What's happening is this person has done enough inner work now that some trauma, some dis-ease within them, some kind of health issue, toxicity issue, lie, friction is now coming up. It's being excavated because her overall frequency is elevated, and your body, which is a container, cannot hold that information or that patterning or that level of density anymore. And this is the same with people who have incarnated with deep ingrained conditions. They may even have been born with them. It's now time for them to be seen and felt and heard and understood, that everything that your body is expressing is information for you, so that you can understand at a deeper level the truth of who you are. And the thing with this planet and human beings is, it seems to take suffering for us to really step up to the mark and do our inner work. And for so many of us, I don't know why, and I do believe it's going to change, but we've had to kind of deal with this suffering. And that's probably because we've chosen to incarnate into this holographic reality, which is satanic led. You know, it's an inversion reality. So basically, it's a polarized reality where the truth of the matter is that we have the ability and the facility to embody unity consciousness, should we so choose. So that's the kind of embracing of polarity into unity. But in order to step forward into that evolutionary step and higher dimensionality and higher levels of awareness, we've got to see what we've been holding, which is polarity, so that we can then make a different choice and choose that we are both ends of that spectrum held in unity consciousness. And once we see and we feel and we choose that, what happens is we experience instant manifestation and dis-ease leaves us. So I think a lot of people are struggling with dis-ease at the moment, whether that's emotional, mental, or physical. And what we're seeing at the moment is a lot of people dying. We're seeing a lot of people having mysterious illnesses, but which are caused by the consequences of their own actions, which are a result of their deeply embedded, ingrained, indoctrinated beliefs. And as they elevate in their consciousness, because everything is perpetually elevating in consciousness, what's happening is they're being more and more affected by their choices. And so they are suffering as a consequence of making choices which are not in alignment with the truth of who they are. And that's what we're seeing with these, you know, the immune system illnesses, which are showing themselves around the world with people who have made choices which went, if you like, against their truth, against their soul's reason and their deeper knowledge. And a lot of people are dying because they're either they finish their time here, or they need to do another incarnation in order to give themselves time to work out the dis-ease within them and to do the inner work, to kind of rise up to the realization beyond victim consciousness that they are sovereign beings and they get to choose another way. So I just think it's really important that we all understand that it's everything your body is doing is an expression of how you are within this matter-based reality, remembering that the matter of your body, if you like, is the final manifestation of this reality that's happening in your body is coming from spirit, from energy, from emotion, from your mental, and it's finally condensing into this form, this formulated patterning, which is a result of your choices on other levels, and essentially the choice of your spirit. So matter is the result of energy condensing into form, and the way that you're choosing for that energy to materialize into form. So everything, you know, like my curly hair, I don't know, my height, everything me is an expression of how I think and feel about myself at a soul level. And let me tell you that since I got to England, I'm in my son's new house, which is why there's an unusual background and not my normal background. Since I got to England, my eyes have swollen up. Okay. And I could look at this two ways. I could look at it on the kind of 3D level and go, oh, I don't know, I'm not used to the toxins, or I'm not used to the cold, or I'm eating badly and I'm not eating that great here because I'm not in my normal environment. Or I could look at it as there's something that I am not seeing. My sight is not clear. I'm swollen in my perception. I'm being closed off from some kind of truth. And because, if you like, the current environment is not resonating with me in alignment, or rather I'm not resonating with it in some way, something deep within me, a deep unconscious belief or idea or perception, because it's about my eyes, is rising up to show me. And in fact, I'm beginning to work out why my eyes are swollen. I started to work it out yesterday. It was to do with a level of presence that I am not holding with a certain situation that is playing out around me. Okay. So I haven't been present with this certain situation, and I haven't been sovereign enough with it. I haven't been taking responsibility enough for it. So in other words, I've been seeing it from a viewpoint of victimhood, and it caught me unawares. And so what's been happening is, because my body is very sensitive to how I think and feel, essentially I don't numb myself, you know, anymore in all the ways that we all choose to numb ourselves. What's happening is, very quickly my body responds to a deep unconscious belief which is being triggered by a set of circumstances, and it's rising up to show me this unconscious belief that I'm holding, which is around sovereignty and victimhood and my perceptions, the way I see around that. And it's showing me that my eyes are closed, they're swelling and they're closed to this aspect of myself. So although it feels like it's coming from the outside in, so in other words, this situation is triggering me and I'm in a foreign country and blah, 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 what's actually happening is, the truth is, something that I've held deeply within me, maybe for lifetimes, is rising in response to show me something that is ready to be cleared. And yesterday, as I started to work this out, my eyes started to go down in their swollenness, and already they're like 50% better. And I'm now stepping more into presence. I'm now feeling more into the situation, not reacting from the situation. So I'm feeling how my body is resonating in response to the situation, and then adapting in accordance to what will serve me at my soul's highest level, not my material matter-based level. And that's not to negate that one shouldn't look after their matter-based body, because obviously we are matter as well as mind, as well as emotion, as well as energy, as well as spirit. We are all of those things. But what I'm trying to impress upon you and myself is that this is an unconscious thing that I've probably been holding a long time, and it's rising within me. Okay. And when I start to take my power back and be, because I know this is around presence, be in the presence of what's happening with that, and to truly see for myself what's going on with things, my eyes are starting to clear and the swelling is going down. So if any of you are dealing with a physical issue it's a good sign. It's something rising up to show you that's ready to be cleared because you've done enough inner work, because you've reached a stage in your evolutionary, vibrationary process at which you're ready to up your game and change and step into a higher level of reality. So I hope that's been helpful for you. It's always good for me to speak out what's going on with me, and it's not a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidences, because we're creating our reality. That this question came up on my Patron site last night. I think she must have posted it this morning, and that I am now responding by speaking this to you. And it is no coincidence, if you're listening to this, why you're listening to this, or even why I'm talking about disease, health, or particularly eyes and perception and presence. Perhaps this is a message that you need to be hearing right now for some reason. So if this has been helpful to you, and if it resonates, and if you've got anything to respond, I'd love to hear your comments in the chat. Please do like and share my videos so more people see them, and I can overpower and overcome the algorithm of YouTube, which is a tricky beast to navigate. And if you want to join my Patreon live meditations, we meditate live together once a week. We have a Q&A session once a month. It's available by monthly subscription, very reasonably priced, I think. And it's an extraordinary, very powerful practice to be elevating in our consciousness altogether. So you can find me on the Patreon site at Sarita, I think it's -Soul, but you'll find me if you type in Sarita Sol and go to memberships and join me there. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much. And I'm sending all of you lots of love.